It is only the woman who really knows the father of her child. So if you are the only one with that information and the man also wants to be in the know, why are you divorcing him? Tada! Hello and welcome back to my channel. But if this is the very first video of me, hello and welcome to this channel. My name is Naya and good to have you here. Why don't you click on that subscribe button and stay glued to this channel for more situationship gists. And we'll be back. This is the concluding segment of the paternity story that we've been trying to cover. And we shared the story of Nedu Wazobia FM, Kirk Franklin, including Lamptey, a Ghanaian football star, and I think he's retired now. So if you've not watched those videos, they'll be linked somewhere in the comments or in the video description, so you can go there to catch up on where we are at this time. Still on the mandatory DNA testings, I'm sure that people have varying opinions concerning that. Not everybody is comfortable with having a DNA done immediately. I'm just sharing what my thoughts are. So, whatever you want to do is up to you. Let's go through what some people think concerning mandatory DNA testing. We have our first comment here, and it says demanding DNA tests never ends well. If it's positive, it strains the marriage because your wife believes you don't trust her. And if it's negative, the marriage is over. You can do it secretly behind her. Nedu did tests for his kids because they were processing Canadian immigration. Well, according to the wife, the children were tested because he was doubting the paternity of the last child. So the DNA testings were done and out of the way. She said that he was violent in the relationship. And whenever she wanted to come out, Nedu would use you that even gave me a child that is not mine to kind of shut her up. So just to clear that then out. Someone responds and says, I beg you, my correct brother, DNA is a must. Let us promote it as national policy. Churches should make it mandatory for child dedication. Please, please, please. Families should do what works for them. It shouldn't be imposed or for any reason. Well, aside these embassy rules, of course, if you want to come to my country, I want to check whether the child you're bringing is actually yours or you're just peddling children here and there. So that's valid. But to say child dedication, no, I don't think so. The lady says, God knows, if I ever use my body to carry your child and you ask for a DNA test, I will give you that test and afterwards your divorce papers.
Wetin be this? Wetin be this? Wetin be this? Jesus.
What are you saying?
Blood of Jesus.
Well, it is only the woman who really knows the father of her child. So if you are the only one with that information and the man also wants to be in the know, why are you divorcing him? Well, that's her opinion. But I'm just trying to say, on what grounds are you doing that? Then someone responded to her and said, but you can't fault these men. We've heard stories. And the lady responded again and said, my dear, so have I. What I find entertaining is how so many men are rushing to say they will conduct DNA tests without understanding what they are actually saying. The men understand perfectly what they are saying. They want to trust you badly as their wives or however you came about the child. They want to trust you so badly. But there are different occasions where men who have trusted, it didn't end well. What about this man who had a 21-year-old and a 17-year-old and he found out that they were actually not his children? So where did the trust take him to? You think if you ask that man, what do you think you should have done 21 years ago? You think he won't tell you do DNA tests? So please try and be reasonable, okay? And a doctor says this. A child was brought in by the mother with a PCV of 8%. We discover that the child has sickle cell disease. I informed the mother and asked her to come with the father so that I can counsel them together. She begged me not to tell the father, who is AA. The father is AA, but they have a sickle cell child. Like how? And this guy says, guys, DNA is a must. So you see, for you to come out and say if he asks for DNA, you divorce him. He wants to trust you, but make it easy for him. Let the paternity of the child not be in doubt, especially if he wants to know. That's what I think, anyways. And then another woman says, so I found the DNA test results of my three kids in my husband's closet. Although all the kids are his biological children, yet I feel betrayed. I never cheated on my husband since we got married. I don't know why he took that decision. Should I confront him? Belema, okay? Maybe it wasn't because of you. He may have heard things outside. He may have read things. He may have seen things. Maybe someone close to him was going through that same issue. So instead of him to find out at a later stage, he just wanted to clear his conscience so that the two of you will be on the same page. That's what I think. So please don't confront him, my dear.
Or instead, you can ask him to buy you a car for damages. I'm just trying to say, don't make it a problem.
And then another user says, when you question your partner's fidelity, females especially, you should expect an angry reaction, regardless of whether they are guilty or innocent. So he's trying to say that the guilty person will react angrily to put you off from actually doing a check if you wanted to. And then an innocent one would also be angry because why are you questioning my fidelity? And he says, in my view, if any man is having doubts about the paternity of their kids, I don't think it's necessary to confront their wives, the mothers. They can just go ahead and carry out the DNA test without informing them. If it is positive, you can begin to overcompensate for doubting them with excessive acts of service, and they will never know why. If the result is negative, you confront them with hard evidence and they can't deny it. Yeah, so this guy has some sense. So if you're actually the father, then you need to make it up to the woman for doubting. But I don't think that the woman should now be angry that you questioned. But then, if the children are not yours, go and do Thanksgiving in church that you checked. And finally, a child's dad can order a DNA test. All you need is your child's hair or nails or blood, and the job is done. You can do that secretly. You don't need to ask the woman before doing a DNA test. You do not need her permission at all. Don't let anybody guilt trip you. Pass this on to all men. So now I have passed this on to ye men watching me. So I need you to send me my flowers for this tip because this tip is not an easy one. In fact, I think there are two important questions we need to ask now before you start dating anybody. The first one, which has always been, what's your genotype? Now, the second one I think should be, what's your stand on DNA testing? Because if you marry somebody who thinks that you shouldn't have to question the DNA of the children because you should absolutely trust her, then avoid such a woman if you want to check. At the same time, you should be going for women who do not mind. You say, okay, you want to check, go ahead and check. But just know that for each child that you check and that is yours, you owe me 1M. I think that's a good deal. Don't you think so? That would work. By the time you do that, all women will grant you access. Go ahead and check as long as the monies hit my account. We're good. So with that, we've come to the end of the DNA situationship discussions. What I've shared are my opinions. So I'd like for you to also leave your thoughts and experiences or suggestions in the comments below so that we can all learn from them as well. Click on that subscribe button, turn on the post notification, and give this video a thumbs up. I'll appreciate that. Thank you and see you in my next video.